Hello friends, my name is Brian, this is Football Manager 22, and we're back in Salisbury. It's been a couple of days, certainly compared to the relentless string of videos from last week. It's been a little nice to have a bit of a gap. I'm sure absence has made the heart grow fonder. So we're back here at the club vision screen, and our job security is untouchable. We have a multitude of colors here on the left, and a big block of green up top and the right, with an A+. So that's good news. The quick rundown is we are continuing to meet our signing requirements. We're mostly nailing our playstyle requirements. We aren't succeeding at playing attacking soccer, allegedly. I think this goal is basically solely measured on goals per game. And, we struggled a little bit. But we're well within payroll budget because they expanded it significantly after we had run it down, as I believe I showed at the end of the last video. Maybe in the middle of the last video. But, yeah. So we have spent the original transfer budget. We're signing players for a profit. We definitely signed players a minimum 3-year contracts for first-team players, so I'm not sure why they haven't judged us on that. And apparently they want us to expand the stadium again. That's new since we got a new contract. We were due to expire at the end of next year, and now we are going to expire at the end of 2034, 2035. In terms of competition goals, we have failed both of our cup goals. That is because the game really loves nothing more than giving us road games to other Premier League sides in the round we need to win to achieve these goals. Very frustrating. They understand we had a difficult draw. Yeah, so not amazing. We've finished up at least one more of these. We improved youth recruitment, I think. Let's actually just go take a look at facilities. But yes, we are doing more than fighting bravely against relegation. So things are in there. We're great in that regard. We now have an 18,913 seat stadium in Salisbury. They want us to expand it again. Apparently we can. We have excellent training facilities. I believe there are 2 levels above excellent. I don't know the first, and then it's world class. We have adequate youth facilities. We are youth level 0, because for some reason that fell. We asked the board to increase it from 0 to 4, and they did, and then it fell back. And it's like, what do we need to do to keep it going up and maybe give us those youth teams? We have fairly basic academy coaching and average youth recruitment. Average is dead in the middle, as you can kind of guess. And we have an affiliate in Morecambe. We don't have anyone loaned there currently. League 2 is a bit of an awkward spot. Our youth players are below that, and our reserves essentially are above that. So, but yeah, let's take a look at the competition board, and we are sitting in 8th place here after 24 games. It feels pretty good. Most of the usual figures, I guess, to say ahead of us. Both Manchester's, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool. Also, maybe slight surprises in West Ham and Southampton, and Tottenham below us. But a very tight pack there between, most everyone. And then a bit of a drop-off to poor Newcastle, and they lose their fancy, expensive ownership. I don't know. I'm not going to bother looking. And poor Barnsley and Brentford, who are looking bang on for relegation. So yeah, things have gone pretty well. Let's break down the specifics, and then actually get back to the transfer window, because we have made a few changes. Both changes we're happy with, changes we weren't. We had just shown off, I feel like it was our 3-1 win over Burnley? Maybe. In the 3rd game of the year. Nah. Anyways, draw with Newcastle, good. Draw with Brighton, fine. Ugly loss to Man United on the road. They're a top 2 team. It was in Manchester. We can live with that. We lost to Wolverhampton, and then we beat Tottenham at home. Good win. And things went sideways here for a little bit. We had 3 straight losses. Everton, Newcastle, Man City. These were a series of frustrating games. I believe Everton, his only goal came on a penalty. Yeah, in the 13th minute. We significantly out XG Newcastle, but they punched it through, and Holland happened. They're always going to get a goal with as long as Holland's still on the team and still in his relative prime at like 31. But we came back, stormed back, and came out of that with a 5-2 win over Barnsley. So that was good to help break the momentum, even though if it went to another skid of we were playing more top teams. At least we scored some goals in this, though we started conceding more goals to Leicester, West Ham, and Arsenal. But we ride the ship littles here, starting with this draw to Sheffield United. In fact, yeah, that was definitely the start of the turn. Friendly win over Mallorca. A win over Brighton, a win over Chelsea, draws to Wolverhampton and Man United, so that was a actually quality draw, and then a road win against Chelsea. Yeah, that's what I like to see. And obviously we unfortunately had a road trip to Wolverhampton and didn't have a terribly great performance in the third round of FA Cup. Could we not get drawn against a fellow EPL team for once in that? There have been a few slight changes to the team. I believe McAvoy played his first game for us on video last time. Let's see. So I saw Jordan Petkov. He came through my scouting notes when I started scouting the, doing the usual scouts of national teams. And yeah, he got flagged as an 18-year-old with a couple caps for the Bulgarian national team. And as you can tell, looks pretty good. Physicals are all lit up. Mentals are lit up with bravery and positioning in particular being extra lit up. 16 tackling, 15 heading, 14 passing, 6'4", so can play at center back as well as right back and does have the positional need to. Can even play left back, though he is right-footed, so he'd be playing inverted, but could even do that competently if we needed it. So just all around a great young player. 3-star player, 4 full stars of potential, possibly a 5th star of potential, wonder kid status. Yeah. $103 million release clause. Seems fair. That, of course, created more consternation on the team. Timothée Kaplan, who had been a little upset about his playing time already, because, he is a physical monster. The physicals are just disgusting on this guy, and his mentals are hit and miss, but okay, but his technicals still just need work. He's still just 20. He's got time. But, yeah, so he'd been, rotating with Andrij Jagasic, and so we moved him to Wigan on a loan for free, which, of course, no one was happy about because we weren't getting paid for the loan, but made sense because we were bringing in Petkov to play. And then the winter transfer window opened, and we had a bunch of players complaining. Kostin Mihalev, obviously we weren't playing him that much. His development had capped out a bit much. Capping at 3 and still a potential 4-star, but at 24, who knows? But he was just, both Nusa and Juan are better right wingers than him. Now, one of them was usually playing at left wing when Garcia wasn't playing over there. Edgar Garcia, not Jackie Garcia. But, he just wasn't seeing as much playing time as he wanted. So we sold him to Stoke for $4.6 million. Stoke is having a kind of bad season in the championship, but it seems fine. Richard Cumming was not getting much playing time at center back either. A great player, came up with us through the ranks. He spent a number of years for us. We got him for just a bit over $500,000 from Birmingham. Unfortunately, he's a championship level player. That's the truth of it. He is not a Premier League player. Though his ratings aren't actually that bad. Just, I don't know, the performances never seem to match with the 6.86 on both of them. It's fine. It's not exactly great. So we sold him off to the Greek Super League, PAOK, Salonika, where he's had 4 games since then. I don't think the Greek League is loaded, so those would all be European play at least. So, if that's the case, good for him for getting to maybe. Anyways, we got paid good money for him. And then Andrija Gosic came to me. Well, Villarreal started poking around for Gosic, our starting right back. Obviously, he, like Capun, a physical monster. Mental's good. Technicals, defensive are good. Kind of lacking in the offensive technicals. His dribbling and his crossing are only 8s. He came to me, wanted me to accept the Villarreal offer. Obviously didn't want to lose him necessarily, but we did have Petkov that we just brought in, so we had a little space there. And I asked him why he wanted to leave, and he said, I want to play European soccer. And I looked at Villarreal, and they were playing European soccer this year, and they're in the top 3 or 4 in La Liga, so they're going to be playing European soccer next year. And despite the fact that we're sitting right outside European spots right now, so it's possible that we get in and grab a Europa League or maybe a European Conference League spot. I don't exactly know the division off the top of my head, but it's possible we play European soccer this year, but it's also possible that we don't. And in the end, it seemed like a fair thing. I didn't want to hold him back, and because I think I'm still probably 2 years away from being safe to say, hey, we can make it. Making promises. And, they'd offered like $17 million, and I was like, okay, I'll let you go, but it's got to be more than they've offered now. So we settled on $25 million. And eventually they came around to it. I will say the system for salaries is a bit odd at times. I pushed it to, I think, 25, and then I offered him back to Villarreal for that 25, but I also then tacked like 20% on profit fee, which, who knows, doesn't really make a ton of sense given he's unlikely to be sold. That's kind of right now the top end of his range, but but that immediately screwed things up. He was like, hey, you offered me out for more than the fee. I'm like, no, it was 25 million. It's just, percentage back and whatever. So eventually we got through it, and Villarreal came back with 25 and like 20% of profit on any next sale. So we actually brought Capun back. Cumming plays center back. Gosic plays right back. So Capun can hopefully steal the playing time both of them had and give him an amount of playing time he's happy with. Though, again, without the cups, the EPL schedule is so much more empty compared to the championship because, at least for a team like us who is not playing European soccer, there's literally just a game a week. There's not this, we play 38 games a year as opposed to 46 in the championship. That's, a non-significant 8 games less. And then I made a questionable purchase. Petkov obviously had the Bulgarian caps. In terms of eligibility under my rules, I saw this player, Ayup Ozhan, again, probably savagely ruining his name. He was playing for Red Bull Salzburg. Just 19, Turkish. And, I didn't have a full scout on him. So I had, maybe 8 to 10 attributes lit up, and every single one was lit up in yellow with the high range of attributes. I'm like, okay. And someone else was moving in on him, and I went, I calculated it out. He played in the UEFA Under-21 Championship qualifiers, which gives him a lot of credits. Salzburg being, the dominant team in the Austrian Bundesliga, gives him some credits. It it gets close. I don't think he'd get a work permit in reality, but he'd be close, and it's hard to say. I'd have to double check the exemption rules, but I decided again in this case, again, since I'm playing just restricting myself, I went, we're gonna sign him anyways, and not worry about having to do anything. He does offer some useful positional flexibility. I plan on playing him mostly as a center mid. He's a bit weak at marking and tackling, so he'll definitely be the attacking part of that. But he is right-footed with experience at the left wing, so he can play as an inverted winger there. Would need to maybe improve his finishing a little, but his dribbling and first touch are great. Maybe improve his pace and acceleration as well. But again, he is a 19-year-old, 3.5 stars with full 4-star potential and a possible 5th star of potential. Good personality. Doesn't have great concentration or positioning, but lots of good things to see there. So he has just played basically his first game for us, as we are dealing with a few minor injuries, including McAvoy being out with the flu. David Sausage, our striker who doesn't have a work permit under our rules, and was on loan at FC Copenhagen, unfortunately tore his, it didn't say ACL or MCL, but he tore one of the CLs in his knee and is out long term. So we recalled him, but he's going to be out for another 4 to 6 months, and it's already February, so he won't be back till the beginning of next year. So unfortunately, Saucic, despite having some incredible ability, might not get there because of the time taking a full year off in his developmental prime. So that's unfortunate. Please don't look at David O'Reilly when I tried to use the tool to replace in new pictures. He, for some reason, stayed like that. I will have to try it again soon. So we are up with what I believe is a home game against Aston Villa, who are on 13th. Positive sounds fine. Team selection, Garcia Nusa 1. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Edgar can take the game off. I think he's had a couple games recently. He's on medium. Most people are on medium. Ozan at attacking. Doyle. That's fine. We can give Green the day off. Zabibi, Petkov, Alexandrescu, Herleman. You know what? Let's. Poon is on medium. I'll worry about. Let's run it back. This is fine. Blomgren, we brought him back on loan to be a deep sub. We don't expect to ever actually play him, but since he's on breakthrough prospect as playing time, he's happy not to play. Well, he's fine not playing. Where Mihalev would get upset. His contract is up, and he doesn't unfortunately look like a piece of our future, so someone else has already come in. I believe it's a Bundesliga 2 team has come in and settled him with an end of contract deal, so he'll be playing in the Bundesliga 2 next year, or at least will be under contract with the Bundesliga 2 team next year, and they'll either play him or let him out. So good luck to him. For now, he's just a deep option if we have more injuries that make us lose some of our right wingers. But again, Juan, Nusa, and Edgar Garcia and Baba Uda can all play there. So, we kind of have depth, though. Most of those guys are slightly better off at other positions, whether it be striker or inside forward on the left. Daramy crosses it in. We deflect and play it out to Nusa. Nusa is going to drive with it down the left side, looking to create space, looking to outrace his defender. Plays it into Doyle. Doyle bounces off. Oh, Ozan fires it in hard, right off the keeper's hands. Does make a good save. here in the 3rd minute. Looks like Juan will take the corner, plays it short, right into Guremi, and they come away with it. Zabibi, I hope he doesn't pick up a yellow card for that one. Nope, but they will get the ball after the spot, and okay, we're taking another corner. This isn't just a replay, is it? I mean, ball went the exact same place, but this time Ozan was the one to come away with it. Plays back up to Juan, who was on sides. Played into Doyle, back out to Ozan. Oh, beautiful strike from Fabio Torres. Oh, what a cheeky fella taking that. Torres flips between playing center back and defensive midfield. We have our loanee defensive midfielder who plays there sometimes. Today was one of the times where Torres is taking the spot, and he saw an opportunity. He just took it. Good on you. About 3 of his other goals are actually penalty kicks, as he's one of the better penalties takers on the team. And so when I think maybe Nusa isn't on the pitch, he's actually the first choice. A little unconventional first position, but, you know, it is what it is. Speaking of penalties, I'm sure you humble viewer can come up with many example of some defensive midfielder, center back who is a penalty specialist that I, the ignorant American, don't know about. I'd love to see Messi make a save here, but it never happens. Penalties are just freaking automatic. Yeah, everyone should be kind of angry about that. And we'll kick off. Garcia back to Torres, back to Hurleman. Hurleman to Zabibi. Zabibi into Torres, up to Doyle. Out to Zabibi, up to Nusa. Back into Doyle, played back to Zabibi. To Doyle, plays it forward. Looking for Garcia, not well played. Defender easily heads it away. I will say one thing that's nice about Jackie Garcia, you know, besides everything, is that at the tip of the spear, he is 6'4" and has good heading skill, while Babauda there is 5'11" or so, kind of average at that. So when we play those big balls forward, you know, Uda just always got out jumped. You know, sometimes Garcia gets beat, but he also wins a fair amount of them and can cycle the ball back to the center midfielders and sometimes the wings to keep possession on those when they come in on him and aren't just long balls where he's looking to run out top. Good sliding tackle, though Garcia's now on a yellow card. Thrilling stuff. Maybe we'll be seeing Uda in relief today. Come on. Let's give a shout at the boys. Doyle plays it forward to Juan. Juan brings it in the center, plays it to Nusa. Nusa, valuing his options, doesn't really like him, plays all the way back to Hurleman. To Alex. Alex played out to Petkov and up to Juan. Back to Petkov, who's slowly marching forward. If we're playing positive, I need to maybe look at my roles on my fullbacks. Garcia, Ozan, had the step, had an open look, didn't do enough with it. Yeah, I'll probably need to. So we were playing, you know, Manchester United, even at home. Ball played up to Garcia, laid back to Nusa, driving in, like it, created an opportunity for himself, and really just played it over the top. Messi will make the save there. So with the home game against United, with the game against Chelsea, you know, these are better teams, so we weren't necessarily going to play positive. We were playing balanced. And I kind of realized, or I thought that my fullback wingback usage was maybe more aggressive than warranted, and also maybe more aggressive than my players' skills made sense, given they are generally good at the defensive things, but aren't amazing offensive players, kind of like Fausek. Garcia with the chip, saved by Green. We'll take another corner. Let's see if we can steal the lead here right as the buzzer sounds, guys. Nope, they are better than us at that near corner. So where was I? Totally lost my train of thought with the narration. The fullbacks. Yes, I should have taken that opportunity. I will take this opportunity to see if we're going to play positive. I will move them back to their usual duties of wingback support, fullback attack. I'd move them both back a step for home games, home game against United, and I believe a road game against Chelsea, where we were playing just a balanced mentality instead of a positive mentality, because those teams scare me. Ozan gets a little space, plays it, but strikes it over the top. Nusa gassing out a bit. Yeah, it's fine. Give Garcia some time. Plenty of time. So, yeah, that was my logic, and it seemed to pay off again, since we're on a 6-game non-loss streak with a decent amount, with like 3 wins, 3 losses, and it not just being the bottom of the barrel that we're playing. Ball up to Juan, into Ozan. Then plays it back to Torres. Torres up to Zabibi. Up to Garcia. Garcia plays back to Hurleman. Hurleman over to Alex. Alex going to drive with it a little bit. He does play... well, he has center mid amongst his capabilities. Ozan with another strike. Oh, so close. See, I like the kid. He's got potential. Not great defensively again, but I want someone who offers a threat coming up out of that center mid spot. Alex, good header this time from this side, but good diving save from Green. You know, we've been much better in terms of XG, other than their penalty that they were gifted. I don't even know what happened, obviously. Probably a push in the box. Don't like just getting outraced by Yeltsin there, giving him any opportunity to create. Bowen with a shot from outside, luckily saved by diving Messon. We have tried to get the backup keeper some games in to keep him fresh, to keep him happy, because we haven't made, significant cup runs where he would get the opportunity as the cup goalkeeper to actually play. So yeah, let's bring in Uda to play up top. Garcia's on a yellow card and is also one of the 3 most tired players on the team. And let's bring in, I think it's Kapun to play for Hurleman at center back. Get another yellow card off, and as well as one of the more tired players on the team. Means they won't be beating us to the far post, at least in terms of speed. Kapun might get lost. You never know. Alex heads it back to Messon, who will then distribute back to Alex. He's going to take an opportunity to take a look. Plays it back to Torres, back to Kapun, out to Zabibi, up to Doyle. Finds Garcia moving. Good with the movement. Great run by Garcia. Starches it. Edgar Garcia, 4th goal of the year, gives us a lead here against Aston Villa at home in the 84th minute. Good stuff. Oh, what a run. I usually prefer to have my boys playing tiki-taka passing, but when you can get a run like that, how can you complain? You can't. I will probably go in and switch to Ozan, plays it up to Uda. Switch to time wasting here after this clip, as well as probably resetting Zabibi and Petkov's Juan. Good stuff. Yes, I will. I only get to do 1 right now. Let's go ahead and first reset these back to wing back defend, fullback support, so they are less up the pitch, less inclined to aggressively attack when we just want to make sure they don't get beat back to the edges, and then we will tell the team to waste time in opportunities like this. Garcia takes another chance, unfortunately goes right into Green's hands. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Messon will play it out to Alex. Man comes in to press him a bit, plays it over to Kapun. Passing triangle between the center back and defensive back. I always get a little scared when I see them do something like that. Udo wins a header for once, plays it up to Garcia, like it. Garcia on a good run, comes over, plays it in, header. Oh, on off the crossbar with his header. Brutal stuff. It looked like they Ball out of the backfield did go straight to a Villa player, but it does not look like we were being punished with that. There was the throw-in. Time is ticking. They're retreating. Please stop the clock. That is the 7th straight win for your Salisbury Whites here in a row. Good stuff. Team is humming. Yep. Very generic answers. That win has moved us up into European spots. Obviously, tons of team in competition with us, and Liverpool has a game in hand, so it's entirely possible that Liverpool sneaks up and pumps us back, but I guess that would still leave us in as things stand. Tottenham also is close, though they can't take our spot just yet. So we have, several games left. What is that, game 25 for us, and 38, so we still got 13 to go. Oh, Doyle had both assists. Good job, buddy. But I think the schedule actually leans on the easier side. Our next game is against 20th place Brentford. 10th place, 7th place, 3rd, 12th, 2nd. Okay, so those aren't easy. Everton's 16th, Tottenham's in 11th, Barnsley's in 19th, Norwich's in 15th, Burnley's in 13th. So, yeah, it's a big profile, but, we already played our rematches against Chelsea and Man United, who are both top 5, top 6 teams, so happy to have those out of the way with this hot streak. Team seems healthy. We should be getting back Nicky pretty soon, Nikwan McAvoy, and that'll be a good thing. Make the center mid rotation even more complicated now that we've added Ozan. But yeah, so things are looking great. I will be back here with sometime in May, presumably, showing whether we are contending for a European qualification spot or just a mid-table spot of kind of an irrelevant last game, just summing things up, or if things have somehow fallen apart and we've fallen down to contest for a relegation spot. But I can't imagine, with so many teams between us, even and a 16-point gap, it would take the collapse of all collapses to go down at this point. So there's a lot of that. So, thank you so much for joining me. I'd love to hear from you. I would appreciate it if you like or subscribe. And either way, I will be back with you soon. Have a nice day.